The questions and data sufficiency should be solved by keeping in consideration the following points. The first one is the question should be answered using a particular statement or statements only if the answer is unique. That is, the answer you should get should be a single answer, not 2 or 3 answers. Let us see an example. Example is like, the question is, what is the value of x? We need to find the value of x by taking the help of the two statements given. The first statement is x square is equal to 9. And the second statement is x is positive. Now, first we will check with statement 1. Statement 1 says that x square is equal to 9. That implies x can be plus or minus 3. Therefore, two answers are there for this. It can be plus 3 or minus 3. Therefore, according to our statement, the given direction, the answer should be unique. Therefore, first statement alone is definitely not sufficient. If the answers are more than one, then you should not take into account that statement. So you have to see whether statement 2 also will help in this statement 1. If that helps statement 1, then answer is both. Okay. Now we'll see the condition of second statement. Second statement says that x is positive. Therefore, we'll take the help of second statement and we'll substitute in the first one. X should be positive and x is equal to plus or minus 3. Therefore, x must be equal to 3. Therefore, by using both, we are finding the answer. Therefore, the answer is, by using both means we have to consider it as choice C. Here choices will be A, B, C, D. C just now we have seen both, and A we have seen. We have to see we have to take into account this A choice when if the question can be answered by using one of the statements alone, but cannot be answered using the other statement alone. Therefore, compulsory at least only one statement, by using only one statement, either it can be first statement or second statement. By using that statement, the answer is okay, and the other answer by the other statement you should not get it. Therefore, in that case you have to do choice A. Choice B is if the question can be answered by using either of the statements alone, either statement 1 or statement 2. If at all it is coming with that statements, then it's the choice B. Next, choice C is both. Choice D is cannot be answered. Cannot be answered by taking into account the two statements also. Therefore, this is only one statement, and B is either statement, either of the two statements, and C is both statements, and D is cannot be answered. And the second question, second statement, second direction we'll see. The answer to the question can be yes or no. Means it should be definite. Example. The question is x is equal to 4? Statement 1 is x is equal to 3, and statement 2 is x is equal to 4. Statement 1 is sufficient because by statement 1 we are saying x is equal to 3. Yes, perfectly we are saying yes. Therefore, by keeping the word s, we are saying that x is equal to 3. Therefore, it contradicts the given statement, but we can tell the answer is x is equal to 3 or not. Therefore, here x is equal to 3, the question is x is equal to 4. Therefore, there should be no. No we are saying. Definitely no we are saying by using x is equal to 3. Therefore, by statement 1 we can do the answer. Next is statement 2. Statement 2 is x is equal to 4. X is equal to 4 means the question is x is equal to 4. By statement 2, x is equal to 4 is a given. Therefore, by statement 2 we can say yes, definitely yes. Therefore, by using statement 2 also we can find the answer. Therefore, the answer is either. Either means choice B. And a third direction is, it is enough to figure out whether the question can be solved or not. Means it's not necessary that we have to find the exact answer of the given question. It is not necessary. The question is which statement is sufficient to answer the question. That's we need to find. That's it. We'll take example. Example is, what is the simple interest? Statement 1 is P is equal to 300, that is principal is equal to 300, rate of interest is equal to 10%, and time period is equal to 3 years. And statement 2 is P is equal to 300. See, in this observe statement 1, when we need to find simple interest, we have SI is equal to PET by 100. If we know PET and R value, 3 values, then we can happily find the simple interest. Therefore, if you observe the statement 1, all the 3 variables are given. Definitely we can solve the problem. Here no need of finding 300 into 10 into 3 by 100, all this stuff. No need of finding all that answers. Therefore, it is enough that statement 1 can be used to solve the problem. Definitely statement 2 alone cannot be answered. By using statement 2, it cannot be answered because only P is given, the R and T are not given in the second statement. Hence, the answer is statement 1 alone is the answer. And statement 1 alone, and we cannot answer by other statement, then we'll go for choice A. Next, question number statement 4, that is direction 4. Analyze each statement independently before combining. Means as soon as the problem is given, we should not combine them and we should not solve. First of all, we have to observe statement 1. If not, statement 2. If not, statement 1 and 2. That is the steps we have to follow. Therefore, by combining both the statements. Next, direction number 5. Don't carry forward the information of one statement to the other statement while doing separately, while considering them separately. Therefore, it is very clear. Next, direction number 6. We have to read the instructions before answering the question. Means what is choice A, what is B, what is choice C, what is D. We have to read the instructions, then we need to go for the problem.
X plus 2y plus 1 is equals to y minus x. If we simplify this equation, it will be 2x plus 2y plus 1 is equals to 0. Now, we have to find the value of x. Now, whenever we are talking about data interpretation, any problem in data interpretation, it is enough to find whether the given data is sufficient to answer the question or not. So, we don't need to find the value of x. Now, if we can decide that we can find the value of x by the given statements, then it is enough. Now, let us look into statement 1. It is saying that y square is equals to 9. So, if y square is 9, y can be plus 3 or minus 3. If I substitute plus 3 or minus 3, you'll get two different values. So the value of x is not unique. So we cannot answer by this statement 1. Now let us look into statement 2. Y is equals to 3. If I substitute this y is equals to 3 in the given equation, definitely we can obtain the value of x. So only statement 2 is enough to answer this question. So option A. A radio for A % less than its MRP, and he has sold it for B % less than its MRP. Now he is asking what is the MRP of the radio. Now let us look into the given statement first. A person bought, that is the cost price of the radio is A % less than MRP. So it is nothing but 100 minus A by 100 into MRP, because it is A % less than MRP. Now selling price, the relation for the selling price is given as he has sold it for B % less than MRP. So it is nothing but 100 minus B by 100 into MRP. Now let us look into statement 1. A is 20. Now in equation 1 there are three variables: MRP, A and cost price. Now from statement 1 we know the value of A. In order to find MRP we have to know the value of cost price, and we don't know what is cost price, so we cannot answer this statement by only 1. Now let us look into statement 2. A minus B is equals to 10. Now if A minus B is equals to 10, we will have infinite number of values of A and B which satisfy this equation. So values are not unique, so we cannot answer this statement by only 2. Now let us combine them. What is the combination? A minus B is 10, whereas A is 20. If A is 20, clearly we can say that B is 10. Now let us look into equation 1. If I substitute A as 20, still we don't know what is the cost price, we cannot find MRP. Now if I substitute B as 10, still we don't know what is selling price, so we cannot find MRP. So by using both the statements also we cannot answer this question. So it is nothing but option D. X is an integer, then we have to find x is divisible by how many prime integers. Now we have to find the number of prime integers by which x is divisible. Now look into statement 1. X is the product of any two prime numbers. So it is given that x is a product of any two prime numbers, say P1 and P2. Now if x is a product of any two different prime numbers, their factors will be 1, first prime number, second prime number, and the product of the first and second prime number. So if you take P1 and P2 as any number, it will always have 4 factors. That means x has 4 factors. So clearly we can answer this statement by 1. Next, let us look into second statement. X as well as 8 have same number of positive integers. That means they each divisible by same number of positive integers. Now 8 is divisible by 1, 2, 4 and 8. So clearly we can say that x is divisible by 4 positive integers. So even x will be divisible by 4 positive integers. So we can also answer the given question by statement 2. So we can answer by 1 as well as by 2. So option B. Now we have to check whether a plus b whole square is divisible by 3. Now we'll use statement 1. Statement 1 says that a is divisible by 3, but we have no information about b, so we cannot answer this question by statement 1. Now let us look into statement 2. It says that b is divisible by 3, but we have no information about a, so we cannot say whether a plus b whole square is divisible by 3 or not. So we cannot answer by statement 2 also. Now let us combine both the statements a and b. A is divisible by 3, b is divisible by 3. So definitely a plus b will be also divisible by 3. If a plus b is divisible, then a plus b whole square will be also divisible by 3. So we can answer this question by both the statements 1 and 2. So it is option C. How long will it take to fill a tub with water? He is asking you to find the time taken to fill the water in a tub. Now, let us look into statement 1. Water will flow in at the rate of 100 liters per minute. So speed of the water is given, which is 100 liters per minute. But we have no information about volume of the tub. So we cannot answer this question by statement 1. Now let us look into statement 2. The tub is 2 meter long and 1 meter wide. So length is given, breadth is given, but we don't have any information about the breadth. So we cannot find volume, and also we don't know what is the speed by only say statement 2. So only by statement 2 also we cannot answer. Now let us combine. From statement 1 we know the speed, but when it comes to statement 2 we cannot find the volume because depth is unknown. So as we don't know depth, we cannot find the volume. If we don't know the volume, we cannot find the time taken to fill the tub. So option D. Objective test, there are 50 questions, of which every correct answer will get 1 mark, and there is a penalty which is not given. Now we have to find how many marks did Arun, how many questions did Arun answered incorrectly. Now let us first analyze this question. So we know only the total number of questions, that is total number of questions are 50. Now we don't know how many did Arun attempted correctly. Let it be some C. Arun attempted wrongly, let us say. Let them be some W, and we don't know what is the penalty for each question. Let the penalty be also P. And let us first write the equation relating all these terms. We'll get the net score correct answers into 1 mark minus wrong answer into penalty will always give you net score. Now come into statement 1. Statement 1 is his net score was 24.33, so that implies 24.33 is C minus WP. Now we have to find the number of answers attempted wrongly, that is W. In this equation we have 3 variables. Now if you know 2 variables, then only we can find the third variable, but we have no information about penalty and correct answer, so we cannot answer this question by statement 1 alone. Now let us look into statement 2. He said that he has attempted 26 questions. If he has attempted 26 questions, we don't have any information about the questions that are correct and the questions that are wrongly attempted. So definitely we cannot answer by this statement 2. Now let us combine 1 and 2. Arun has got a score of 24.33, which is C minus WP. Now we have to find this W, and what is the second statement? He has attempted only 26 questions. Now if he has attempted 26 questions, the maximum marks which he will be getting is 26. Now let us assume that Arun has attempted 2 questions wrong. If he has attempted 2 questions wrong, definitely his score will be less than 24, because 2 marks minus penalty, so less than 24, but the net score is greater than 24, so it cannot be 2. Or if I consider 3, again it will be less than 23, which cannot be 3 or 4 and so on. So it cannot be 2, 3, 4 and so on, so ruled out. Now let us consider he has attempted only 1 wrong answer. If he has attempted 1 wrong answer, his score must be 25. But the score is 24.33. That means the rest of the fraction must be the penalty. So if we assume that the wrong answers, number of wrong answers is 1, then only we can answer. That means by using statement 1 and 2, we can answer that Arun has attempted 1 question wrong. So that is option C. Sum of length, breadth plus height of a cuboid. Now let us look into statement 1. It is given that total surface area of the cuboid is 94 centimeters. Now we know the formula of total surface area, which is 2 times of LB plus BH plus HL, that is equals to 94. Now from this equation, the values of L, B and H will not be unique. So definitely we cannot answer by only statement 1. Now let us look into statement 2. The longest needle that can be inserted in the cuboid is 7.07 centimeters. If it is the longest needle, definitely it must be one of the diagonals of a cuboid. So length of the diagonal is given as 7.07, which is nothing but L square plus B square plus H square under root as 7.07. By squaring we'll get L square plus B square plus H square, that is equals to 7.07 whole square. Now from this also L, B and H cannot be unique, so definitely we cannot answer this question by only statement 2. Now let us combine both the statements 1 and 2. We have 2 times of LB plus BH plus HL as 94 and L square plus B square plus H square as 7.07 whole square. Now let us combine them. We'll use the formula L plus B plus H whole square, which is L square plus B square plus H square plus 2 times of LB plus BH plus HL. We know the values of L square plus B square plus H square as well as the next term, from which we can find L plus B plus H whole square, from which we can find L plus B plus H. That means we can answer this question by combining both the statements 1 and 2. So it is option. Now let us look into the statement 1, which is minus of A plus B equals to A minus B. If we simplify, it will be minus A minus B equals to A minus B. Now we'll get the value of A as 0. So we can answer this question by only statement 1. Now let us look into statement 2. A plus B is equals to 2. If A plus B is 2, A and B can be infinite number of values. So we cannot answer, we cannot find the value of A, that is unique value. So we cannot answer by statement 2. So we can answer only by statement 1, that is option A. Rank of Reena in her class, of her class. Now look here. Let us look into the statement 1. He's saying that there are 26 students in a class. If there are 26 students in a class, but we have no information about how many students have, positions of those students, that means the ranks. So we cannot answer this question by only statement 1. Now let us look into statement 2. There are 9 students who have scored less than Reena. So Reena is somewhere here and there are 9 students after her, but we don't know how many students are before her. So we cannot say the rank of Reena. So definitely statement 2 alone is not sufficient. Now let us combine both the statements. There are totally 26 students in the class, and after Reena there are only 9 students. So definitely we can find the rank of Reena. But the problem is, if 2 students will secure the same rank, if 2 students will secure the same rank, then the rank of Reena will go up. If 3 students will secure the same rank, then again it will change, so on. So the rank of Reena is not constant here. So by combining both the statements also we cannot answer this question. So it is option D. There are 20 white and 10 black socks in a box, of which 8 are removed. Now we have to find how many white socks are left in the box. So there are 20 white and 10 black. So the total there are 30 socks in a box. Now of which 8 are removed. We don't know whether they are black or white. So how many are left? 22 are remaining now. Now let us look into statement 1. The ratio of the 2 types of socks left behind in the box is 6:5. So the ratio of the 2 types of socks, that is white is to black or it may be black is to white, is given as 6:5. But look into the number of white socks as 20. What about black? 10. So always in ratio white will be greater than black. So it cannot be black is to white. But you might be saying 8 socks are removed, so it may change. But if I remove 8 white socks, then also this will become 12 and this will become 10. So obviously white will be greater than black. So black is to white cannot be 6:5. So the only option left is white is to black is 6:5. Now we know the ratio of white and black, and also we know the total, that is 22, from which you can find the number of white socks as well as number of black socks. That means we can easily find white socks by using the formula. It is of 6 parts of 11 parts into 22. Now so we can answer this question by statement 1. Let us look into statement 2. The ratio of the white socks to black socks in the 8 socks which are removed is 8. So the socks which are removed are 8, of which white and black are in the ratio 1:1. That means 4 and 4. That means 4 white socks are removed. So from which we can answer this question. So we can also answer this question by statement 2 alone also. So we can answer this by statement 1 alone as well as statement 2 alone. So option B. Which day is 14th of a given month? Let us look into the statement 1. The last day of the month is Wednesday. So the last day is given as Wednesday. So the last day may be 31st, or it may be 30th, or it may be 29th, or it may be 28th. So depending on the month. So there are different values for Wednesday. So even there will be different values for 14th of the month. So we cannot answer this question by statement 1. Now let us look into statement 2. Third Saturday of the month was 17th. Third Saturday was 17th, from which you can say what is 16th, you can say what is 15th, and also you can say which day is 14th. So we can answer this question by only statement 2. So option is A. Four friends A, B, C and D. We have to find among these 4 friends who is the heaviest. Now, let us look into statement 1. B is heavier than A but lighter than D. So let us write them on number diagram. B is heavier than A. So let us take A here. Towards the left of A will take lighter, towards the right of A will take the heavier. Now B is heavier than A, so B will be somewhere here, but lighter than D. B is lighter than D, so D will be somewhere here, but we don't have any information about C. We cannot answer this question by statement 1. Now let us look into statement 2. C is lighter than B. We have only information about C and B. C is lighter than B and no information about A and D. So we cannot answer this by only statement 2. Now let us combine both the statements. A is lighter than B and B is lighter than D. And what about C? C is lighter than B. C is lighter than B. So if C is lighter than B, he will be somewhere here. So obviously the heaviest is D. So we can answer this question by combining both the statements. So option C. Now, when can Harish get the next bus for Vellore from Chennai? Now, it is given that it is 8 o'clock. Harish is standing in the bus stop and he has to move to Vellore. He is asking what will be the time where Harish will get the bus. Let us look into statement 1. Buses for Vellore leave every 30 minutes till 10. So up to 10 o'clock, for every 30 minutes there is a bus. We know that every 30 minutes there is a bus, but we don't know what is the time did the last bus went. So if the last bus was departed at 7:55, next bus will be plus 30 minutes. If it was 7:50, it will be plus 30 minutes. So all these values will change. So it is not unique. So we cannot answer this question by using only statement 1. Let us look into statement 2. A bus left Vellore 15 minutes ago. So 15, this is 8 o'clock. At 7:45, a bus has left for Vellore. But we know the timings of the previous bus. We don't know what is the frequency of the buses from only statement 2. So as we don't know the frequency of the next bus may be after half an hour or 45 minutes or 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. As we don't have frequency of the buses, we cannot answer this question by only statement 2. Now let us combine both the statements 1 and 2. We know that at 7:45 a bus left, and by using statement 1 we also know that for every 30 minutes there is a bus. So after 30 more minutes there will be a bus which will be at 8:15. So Harish can take this 8:15 bus. So answer is option C. A, B and C together takes to complete the work. We have to find if A, B and C are working together, how many days will they take to complete a certain work. Now let us look into statement 1. The ratio of capacities of A, B and C, that is 1 by A, 1 by B and 1 by C is given as 3:4:6. Now from which we can easily find A is to B is to C. We don't need to find. We can find A is to B is to C. Now we have the information of A is to B is to C. That is the ratio of the works of A is to B is to C. But we don't know like A, B and C will complete a work in how many days. At least if we know about the work done by A or work done by B or work done by C, we could have answered this by statement 1. But we have no information. So we cannot answer this question by only statement 1. Let us look into statement 2. C can complete the piece of work in 24 days. We have information about C, but there is no information about A and B. So we cannot answer this question by statement 2. Now let us combine statements 1 and 2. We know the time taken to complete the work by C, that is 24 days, and also we can find A is to B is to C. Now this C is some parts of X is 24, from which we can find the value of X. Thereby we can find A, B, C. Thereby we can find 1 by A plus 1 by B plus 1 by C. So we can answer this question by combining both the statements. So it is option C. In a class there are 50 students and we have to find how many of them will drink tea. Let us look into statement 1. 40 students take at least one of the two drinks. So there are 40 students in a class who will take at least one drink. So at least one drink is minimum one or both. So that is nothing but A plus B plus C is given as 40. Now we have to find the number of students who drink tea, that is nothing but A plus C. We have no information about B, so we cannot answer this A plus C. So statement 1 alone is not sufficient to answer. Now let us look into statement 2. 15 students take both the drinks. That is C is given as 15. As we have no information about B, we cannot answer this question, or simply we don't have any information about A. If you know B, we can find A. If you know A, we can find B. So we cannot answer this question by only statement 2. Now let us combine them. If we combine both the statements also, there is no information about B, so we cannot answer this question by combining both the statements. So option D. Length of the side AB. Now let us look into statement 1. Side AC is given as 6 centimeters and the side BC is given as 3 centimeters. Now AC is 6 centimeters whereas BC is 3 centimeters. By using this AC and BC, there is no relation where we'll get the value of AB uniquely. So we cannot answer this question by only statement 1. Let us look into statement 2. The triangle ABC is isosceles. If the triangle ABC is isosceles, we can say that AC is equals to AB, or AB equal to BC, or BC equals to AC. Again, we don't have sufficient information to answer this question by statement 2, as the lengths of the sides are not known. Now let us combine both the statements 1 and 2. Now if I combine both the statements 1 and 2, ABC is a triangle with AC as 6 centimeters, BC as 3 centimeters, and also the triangle is isosceles. If the triangle is isosceles, this side can be either 6 or it can be 3. So there are two possible answers for side AB. But in triangles, sum of two sides must be always greater than the third side. Now let us take the value of AB as 3. Now AB is 3 as well as BC is 3, but their sum is 6, which is not greater than 6. So 3 cannot be one of the sides. So the only option left is 6. So we can answer this question by using both the statements 1 and 2. So it is option C. X, Y and Z are integers. Now we have to check whether X, Y and Z are equal or not. No. Look into statement 1. XZ is equals to YZ. We can write it as XZ minus YZ is equals to 0, which is nothing but Z into X minus Y is equals to 0. So X and Y are equal, but the value of Z is 0. Now X and Y are equal, but we cannot say that they are equal to 0. They may be 1, they may be 2, or they may be any number. So by using the statement 1, we cannot answer this question. Now let us look into statement 2, which says Yx is equals to Yz, which can be also written as Y into X minus Z is equals to 0. Now we can say that Y is 0, but X and Z are equal. X and Z are equal, again same condition. They may be equal to 0 or may not be equal to 0. So even by using only statement 2, we cannot answer this question. Now let us combine both the statements. From both the statements we have X is equals to Y, Z is equal to 0, Y is equals to 0 and X is equals to Z. Here Z is 0, Y is 0, but X may be 0, may not be 0. It purely depends on the Z and Y. So depending on the values of Y and Z, this X will vary. So X may be 0 or may not be 0. So by combining these two statements also, we cannot answer this. So option D. It is given that X is an integer we have to check whether x plus 3 is a prime number or not. Now, statement 1. Statement 1 is saying that x is a prime number. So x is 2, 3, 5, 7, 11 and so on. Now, if x is 2, x plus 2 will be 5, which is a prime number. If x is 3, x plus 3 is 6, which is not a prime number. So you are getting more than one value. So we cannot answer this question by only statement 1. Now let us look into statement 2. X plus 1 is not a prime number. X can be, we have to select the values of x in such a way that x plus 1 is not a prime number. Let us see. If x is 2, 2 plus 1 is a prime number, so x cannot be 2. If x is 3, yes, it will satisfy the condition. If x is 4, yes. If x is 4, again it will be prime, which will not satisfy the condition. If x is 5, yes. If x is 6, it will not satisfy. If x is 7, yes, and so on. So ideally we'll get this set as 3, 5, 7, 11 and so on. That is nothing but prime numbers. So all these are prime numbers. Again, by using only this statement 2, we cannot answer. Now let us combine both the statements. If we combine both the statements, we'll get the set as 3, 5, 7, 9, 3, 5, 7, 11 and so on. If I consider these values, 3 plus 3 is not a prime, 5 plus 3 is not a prime, 7 plus 3 is not a prime, 11 plus 3 is not a prime and so on. So whatever may be the value of x, if you are adding 3, we are getting the result as not a prime number. So we can answer this question by combining both the statements.